The badly damaged Audi R8 sitting in front of us was purchased for just $34,000. The reason it was so cheap was simple. It had been classified as a flood-damaged vehicle. Surprisingly, the exterior showed almost no signs of damage. In fact, it looked more like a brand new car that had simply been sitting for a few months. The biggest problem was that the key had completely disappeared. According to the available information, one of the keys had been tied underneath the side mirror. Now, only the piece of string remained. At this point, there was no way to unlock the car and inspect the interior. The only option was to peek through a slightly pried open passenger side window, but not being able to see the actual condition of the car was unsettling. After searching around for a while, a stick was finally found and used in an attempt to unlock the door. After struggling for quite some time without success, it became clear that opening the car would have to be left to a professional locksmith. After all, there were still more than 4 hours of driving ahead, and any further delays would only make the trip home even longer. Fortunately, the scheduled locksmith was able to meet up on the way home. Using specialized tools, he successfully unlocked the door and even opened the front hood so power could be connected to the vehicle. By the time the Audi arrived home, daylight had already broken. After unloading it from the trailer, the excitement was impossible to hide. It felt like an incredible deal, and there was eager anticipation while waiting for the locksmith to deliver a newly programmed key. The reason this flood-damaged Audi seemed worth the risk was because only a few days earlier, another flood-damaged vehicle had turned into a huge success. A BMW 435, I had been purchased for just $6,000. The car had only 10,000 miles on it. After spending a little over $1,000 on repairs, it was sold for nearly $20,000. That massive profit created a lot of confidence. So when this Audi R8 appeared at auction, there was no hesitation in placing a winning bid. What made the deal even more appealing was the mileage. The Audi supposedly had even fewer miles than the BMW, just over 5,000 miles. If it could be repaired successfully, it would become the biggest bargain ever found. However, after a careful inspection, things started to feel suspicious. The condition of the car simply didn't match a vehicle with only 5,000 miles on the clock. Various parts showed different levels of wear, and one of the doors even appeared to have been repaired or re-stitched. That raised a troubling question. Had the odometer been tampered with? Determined to find answers, every possible lead was explored. Eventually, contact was made with the previous owner's wife. Through her, the full story finally came to light. When Hurricane Ian struck the area, conditions became extremely severe. This Audi R8 had not escaped the flooding. As a result, the owner decided to get rid of the car simply because it had been exposed to floodwater. The documents provided by the owner confirmed that the mileage really was just over 5,000 miles. The car had originally come with 2 keys. One had been tied beneath the side mirror, while the second key had disappeared without a trace. All that could be done now was hope that the locksmith would bring good news. While waiting, the vehicle was inspected more thoroughly. To everyone's surprise, all of the electrical wiring appeared completely dry. Nothing looked like it had ever been submerged in water. Every fuse was intact and undamaged. In fact, the entire vehicle looked remarkably dry. There were virtually no visible signs of flooding anywhere. That raised another question. If the car showed no signs of water damage, why had it been labeled a flood vehicle in the first place? Just as that mystery became increasingly frustrating, the locksmith finally arrived. The first task was reprogramming the key. After that, data needed to be extracted from the instrument cluster in order to bypass the vehicle's anti-theft system. The locksmith spent countless hours trying to make it work. He made 4 separate visits, each lasting more than 3 hours. Despite all of those efforts, nothing worked. At that moment, all hope seemed lost. The excitement that had been there at the beginning completely disappeared. Was this the start of a complete disaster? Matt reached out to a lot of friends who specialized in this kind of work, but nobody could come up with an effective solution. Even so, he wasn't ready to give up. He decided to look for the second key the previous owner had mentioned. After searching everywhere, he still couldn't find it. However, he did discover something important. The factory jack that came with the car was heavily rusted. That was the first clear sign that the vehicle had, in fact, been flooded. By examining the waterline marks, he was able to estimate how deeply the car had been submerged. Fortunately, it didn't appear to have been underwater for very long, or very deep. That discovery instantly reignited his motivation. He removed the flood-damaged wiring components and used a grinder to clean away all the corrosion. Doing so would help prevent potential electrical shorts in the future. Next, he decided to try starting the car using an unprogrammed key. To his surprise, the engine actually showed signs of life. Suddenly, his hopes came rushing back. He never expected the engine to be in such good condition, and the result left him genuinely excited. Eager to move forward, he called a locksmith to inspect the vehicle once again. This was already the 5th visit. Unfortunately, after a thorough diagnosis, everything seemed to return to square one. Communication with the vehicle systems still couldn't be established. The emotional roller coaster was becoming difficult to handle. Even though the car showed some signs of responding, he still couldn't program a new key. The scanner continued to display 15 fault codes. At that moment, he felt completely helpless and seriously considered giving up, but he knew that quitting wouldn't solve anything. Determined to finish the project, he ordered a large number of replacement parts, including control modules, a complete ECU assembly, ignition components, components, and other integrated electronics. His hope was simple: replace everything necessary, and finally solve the communication issue once and for all. Then another surprise arrived. After spending countless hours researching and troubleshooting late into the night, the locksmith returned for a 6th visit and finally solved the problem. Incredibly, all it took was replacing a computer module that cost only $40. The vehicle's systems immediately began communicating properly. Now, the key could finally be programmed. The security warning on the dashboard disappeared, and when he tried starting the car again, it fired up successfully. Even better, the engine sounded healthy, smooth, and strong. This repair had been anything but easy. It took 6 separate visits from the locksmith before the problem was finally fixed. At that moment, words couldn't describe how relieved and excited he felt. Out of appreciation, he even gave the locksmith an extra tip. It almost felt as though fate had been playing a huge joke on him the entire time. Thrilled that the car was finally running, he decided to give it a full service. But that excitement quickly led to a major mistake. When he started the car again, thick white smoke began pouring out of the exhaust. The cause turned out to be surprisingly simple. While changing the oil, he had accidentally overfilled the engine. As a result, every startup produced massive clouds of smoke. Before long, the garage was filled so densely that it became nearly impossible to see anything. Not wanting to disturb the neighbors, he took the car out for a drive to burn off the excess oil. What started as a small mistake had quickly turned into a major headache. Fortunately, the vehicle itself was running perfectly. The engine showed no signs of overheating, and all of the vital systems appeared healthy. By the time he returned, everything was back to normal. The white smoke had completely disappeared. He then gave the car a thorough cleaning, carefully removing the dirt and stains from the exterior. After that, it was finally time for a real test drive. During more than 30 minutes of driving, the car performed flawlessly. No warning lights appeared, and no new issues surfaced. The result left him smiling from ear to ear. Although this restoration project had been filled with setbacks, frustrations, and unexpected challenges, the potential profit was still substantial.